Tolulokpe Akindeko. I hope I pronounced that well. Precious. Let me not pronounce your surname. It's okay that way. Isheoluwa, thank you so much for watching me there. Jay's Kitchen, thank you so much. Thank you. So tonight we're talking about marriage enrichment. And like someone asked the question earlier today, it was saying people, and I said no, it's not just for married people. You know, marriage is something you should actually prepare for. It's not something you should just walk towards without preparing. You understand? So like, I think last 2 weeks, I couldn't come last week because of my daughter's birthday, but last 2 weeks we spoke about before you walk down the aisle, and I want to believe you all enjoyed or learned one or two things from that. So tonight we're going to be talking about marriage enrichment, and if you're married, of course you understand what I'm going to be talking about. But the major thing I'm saying today is how to make your home more healthy, how to enrich your marriage. I don't know if you can see me. Please let me know. It has stopped broadcasting here. So, can you see me? Okay.
I'm Dr. Akinwumi.
It's not working here.
I'm a practicing medical doctor.
So most of the time, the problem in the relationship is. Thank you so much. I can see you as you're joining in, but I'm just going to continue because of time. The major problem in a relationship at most times is communication. Most of the time, I want to believe you would agree with me. So I'm going to start from there before we have so many places we are going to tonight, but I will try my best to be very, very fast. So God created us completely different. God created us unique. We are different from everyone. Even our fingerprint is actually different from, you know, everybody. The stripe, the marks here on our palm is different from everyone because we are uniquely made. Even this pointed, this dot on my nose is different from that of any other person that has it at this particular place. Is different because God has created us differently and uniquely. I pray as we start or as we commence, you know, God will give us insight on this. So like I was saying, He has wired us to be different. But one major problem is when you get into marriage and your spouse wants you to be like him, he wants you to behave like him, or she wants you to behave like her, she wants you to behave like, to talk like her, to reason like her, to visualize things like her, which at most times is not possible. The main thing we need to understand is we are God's creation, and He has created us as a woman. I am God's woman version. You know, I'm the woman version of God, and as a man is a male version of God. You understand? So when a man and a woman comes together to be one, two halves, like and half of something, you know, coming together to be one. So you have the male version of God and the female version of God coming together. So the weakness of a woman shouldn't be seen by everybody out there. The man should cover the woman's weakness with his own strengths. You understand? And the woman should cover the man's weakness with her own strength. That is when marriage looks beautiful. Then you see compatibility in marriage. It doesn't mean there is no weak point. It doesn't mean there is no failure in the home. But people out there see success because they work together. So like I said earlier, I'm going to repeat that for those just joining us. I, as a lady, as a woman, my husband as a man is the male version of God, and that is how it should be in all homes. You understand? Now, when this is deliberately done, like I said, you see compatibility. You see people see this marriage and be like, wow, these people are looking so good together. They don't know the work, you know, those couple must have kept behind scene. Most of the time, I keep saying this on every media platform I found myself. The marriage itself does not work. It doesn't make it work. Marriage does not make itself to work. Marriage does not make itself to work. My husband, make marriage to work. You understand? Make my home to work. So you shouldn't expect your marriage working automatically because you are married, because you know God. Some people will say, in as much as God is involved, then the marriage would work. Of course it would work, but you as an individual in that marriage must put effort, must work intentionally for it to work. So most of the time, some people say women talk, they have 25,000 words. They speak 25,000 words in a day. And a man speaks 10,000 words in a day. So imagine a man that goes out there to work. He talks to his colleagues, he talks to his secretary, he talks to his manager, he talks to his clients, he talks to so many people, and at the long run, you expect him to come back home and continue gisting with you. You understand? At times, it's very, very difficult because he has been talking. The strength to continue talking is not as, it won't be as effective as a woman wants. And then you hear a woman say, "He doesn't talk to me." Yes, he listens, but he doesn't talk to me. You forget the number of words a man actually has is quite different from the number of words a woman has. So imagine if that woman has actually been working herself. She must have spoken 8,000 words at work. But don't forget, she has extra 17,000 words to speak. So a woman speaks with energy than a man. Most of the time, women speak in paragraphs. They talk, we talk. Most women talk. But men, they speak in bullet points, They'll just give you their points. They'll just, this is what I want to say. And they are done. This is what I want to say. They don't need to talk for long. You're welcome. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. I can see you. So they don't need to talk for long because that is how they were created. That is how they were engraved by God. You understand? So it is very, very essential. We know all of those things. Now there is something called moon to earth syndrome. Moon to earth syndrome is, we have the moon, we have the full moon, we have the half moon, we have the crescent, we have the waxing. You can't see the other side of the moon apart from, okay, for instance, now my phone, you can't see the other side, like the back side of my phone. If I don't show you this phone, you can only see this, right? So only if you go to the space, you'll be able to see the back side of the moon. You understand? So at most times, if you don't, go towards the back side of the space, you won't know what is happening behind. So it is very essential you understand that everyone has their dark side. The back side of the moon is dark. I'm just using my phone as an example. But the thing is, the back side of a moon is dark. And that is how we have dark aspects of dark side of our own lives. Please, as you're joining in, kindly share this video. I beg of you, please. So many people need to, improve their marriage lives. It's very, very essential. So the back side of moon, like I said earlier on, is dark. And that is how every one of us have our dark side. Now, do not get me wrong. When I mean dark side, I'm not talking about something dangerous, something evil, something, secret, or no. I'm talking about the, what's it called? I'm talking about the undiscovered side, like undiscovered side of a person. You have undiscovered side of somebody, for instance, your spouse, whereby you don't know him completely. It is very, very important you discover some secret things in your spouse. How do you discover these secret things? By communication. How do you communicate with your spouse? I know most of the time you'll be like, we're tired of hearing the word communication. We communicate, we all discuss. Like I'm talking right now, I'm communicating with you, right? But there are ways of communicating. There are ways of communicating, and I'm going to be giving 3 components of of communication. And these components of communication is not the normal one we know, like the sender, the receiver, the feedback. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the word you share, what you say. You understand? Now, the tonation, the tonality of that word you are giving. And lastly, the third one is your body expression. Your body expression, your facial expression, your body language matters a lot when communicating. So how do you communicate with your spouse? How do you communicate when something is happening? Your body language matters a lot. Now let me shock you. Your words represent just 7% of your communication. So for instance, now as I'm talking, saying things, you can hear what I'm saying, but you're feeling more of my gestures. You're feeling more of my body language, right? You're feeling more of my body language. So it is very, very important you understand more of this. Now you have tonality. In tonality, you have 23% of tonality. Tonality means the voice, the way you talk, like the tone in which you speak to your spouse. It matters a lot, and it's just 23%. Now 23% plus 7% is how many? 30%. And lastly, you have body language and facial expression, and that is 70% of a communication. Like 70% of body language representation, or in communication, like you have 70% of that, of your body language, your facial expression. You have that in 70% while communicating. So for instance, now if you want to say I'm sorry to your spouse, the word I'm sorry is very, very essential. Please share this video. Please, as you're joining in, kindly share the video. It's very, very important, please. So like I said, the word I am sorry is very, very important. I like hearing my spouse telling me he's sorry when he offends me, and I know he likes it when I tell him I'm sorry when I offend him. He's happy about it. But the major thing is how you tell this word, how you say it itself. In this I am sorry is just 7%. The listener, your spouse, would hear just 7% of that word. The tonality in this issue now is 23%. So it's going to hear the way you say, oh, I am sorry, I am sorry, I am sorry. It's different. I'm sorry, I am sorry. Look at my facial expression. Now it will capitalize on your facial expression, that is 70%. You understand? Please kindly share this video as you're joining in. Kindly share this video. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to look, I'm definitely acknowledge everyone joining, but please let's just go on. It's going to capitalize on your facial expression, right? It's going to capitalize on your body language. It won't hear the word I am sorry anymore. It would hear your face. It would hear your body language. So this is very, very important in marriage. This is very, very important. There are some non-verbal communication that goes, it goes beyond the normal verbal communication. Because of time, I'm going to be cutting out some things from what I wrote down. Now, I wrote something on my Instagram page today, and I don't know if you're following me there, you must, even on Facebook, you must have seen it. I was talking about peacekeeper and peacemaker. I want to ask you watching me, are you a peacekeeper or you are a peacemaker? Please, if you can quickly write that, I don't mind. Are you a peacekeeper or a peacemaker? So in marriage, you have two different people coming in together to become one. And of course, they have two different characters. They have two different, they are two different beings. So someone said something, I think on one show, I watched one show yesterday. It was talking about when you have two visions, it becomes division. You have division. So it's very important you have a vision as a couple. You might not think alike. I wrote something recently, you are not called to think alike. In marriage, of course, while grooming one another, you begin to think alike, because even with time, you begin to look alike. But the major thing is we come together, to reason together, to have same, similar ideas. But it doesn't mean you must buy the idea of the man or in times. So back to, if you are a peacekeeper or peacemaker? I want to know, which are you? Are you a peacekeeper or are you a peacemaker? So a peacekeeper, I think most of us, we might fall here. A peacemaker keeper is someone who wants peace. He or she wants peace at all times. She's not ready to fight. He's not ready to fight. There is a problem. He's not ready to speak about it. It's just like, it's okay. Instead of, dragging issues, it's okay, no problem, no problem. He's a quiet person. There is a problem, himself and his wife has an issue. He's not ready to voice out because he does not want to have an issue like fight or, quarrel, conflict. He doesn't want any of such. So it's just like, it's okay, no problem, no problem. And he keeps, sweeping it under the carpet. When you keep sweeping things under the carpet, one day, that carpet will sweep you off. You will definitely sleep on that carpet. You would fall. So like I keep saying on this program, it is very important you don't keep anything. When things are happening, when things are bothering you, speak it, voice out, say it. It's very, very important. You say whatever it is. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. I can see you all. So it is very, very important you say whatever it is that is happening at a particular time. Do not sweep under the carpet. Now we have the peacemaker. The peacemakers are the ones that when things are happening, they love peace also, but they will say it the way it is. Oh no, let's settle it right now. They don't even care where they settle it. That's one bad thing. Even if it's outside, they are ready to settle it. Even if it's amongst people, they are ready to settle it. But the major thing is for them to talk. They are not ready to sweep anything. See the difference between a peacekeeper and a peacemaker. A peacekeeper, like I said earlier, will sweep things under the what's it called, under the carpet. And when there is a problem, he or she will just offload everything he has been keeping under the carpet. That was how you did it 2 years ago. That was how you cheated on me 10 years ago. That was when you knew you were, or she must have done. Why didn't you just speak? Why didn't you voice out, trash it, and put it in the bin? Why must you save the issue till further, maybe 6 years after, and you are trying to bring it back all over again? It doesn't make sense. So please, there is a difference, like I said, between a peacekeeper and a peacemaker. If you are a peacekeeper, because we are all different, we all have our own attributes. So if you are a peacekeeper, please try to be a peacemaker. A peacekeeper at times could be very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. When you see all the silent people, these quiet people, quiet in quotes, be scared. Be scared. People that you offend them and they are like, it's okay. No, it's okay. No problem. Oh, it's life. Of course, it's life. They would indeed show you how life is at a particular time. There are times we can't keep it. There are times we just need to explode. You can't be quiet forever. Even the Bible in Matthew chapter 5 verse 9 was talking about blessed are the peacemakers. The Bible didn't say blessed are the peacekeepers. Do you understand? So it's very, very important we understand that you have to be a peacemaker and not a peacekeeper. It's very, very important. So I will go further now. You don't need to have a bad marriage to think about marriage enrichment. You don't need to have a troubled home to think about enriching your home. It is very, very important at all times. You want to, spice your marriage. At all times, especially the elderly ones. There are some elderly people that maybe they've been together for 15 years, 19 years, and they are like, oh, I've tried 19 years, you understand, and now they feel relaxed. And the moment even when you're not 19 years, there are some that they are 8 years like this, they are relaxed. I've tried. Actually, you've tried 8 years. Some people cannot even do 1 year. So you've tried. But even at that, you must not relax. Like I said when I started, please, as you're joining me, kindly share this video. Please, I'm begging. I'm begging. I'm not doing any alcohol. Please. So, like I said earlier on, if a piece sorry sorry, like I said earlier on, it's essential you have a healthy relationship and healthy marriage. And like I was talking about friendship zone 2 weeks ago, even in marriage, even after 10 years, even after 12 years in marriage, do not forget your spouse and pick a best friend outside. Ensure that spouse remains your best friend. Ensure there is something called friendship in your home. It shouldn't just be about, he's my husband with pride, and there is no relationship between you both. Do not say you've been together for 18 years, so I know him very well. For goodness sake, don't forget, people change. People change due to situations. So it is very, very essential you keep updating, upgrading your home. Just the way iPhone, all the phones, they update. Why are they updating? Because of technology. In as much as all of this involves around us, it is very, very important you update your home. It is very important you update your marriage. Do not be too relaxed. My husband is a pastor. Nothing can happen. Who told you nothing can happen? When you are relaxed, the devil, the enemy, is standing right by your side. Even there's a saying that when you win a battle, you shouldn't celebrate too much. You shouldn't rejoice so much, because that is the time the enemy is ready to attack. So you shouldn't say, we've been together for 18 years. You've been together for 18 years. So we've been together for 18 years. So I know him so well. He loves me. Of course, my spouse loves me. But even at that, you need to be properly properly safe in marriage. How are you safe in marriage? By keeping your marriage healthy. Spice things up. So I'm going to list some certain things. Enrichment, how to enrich your marriage. Just an idea. It's just an idea. You can add yours, you can subtract from what I'm saying, you can multiply, whatever. But the major thing is, these are just few things that can actually spice your home. And whenever I talk about this, I talk about you first. Yes, you. It is very, very important. Everything starts with you. The moment you can't enjoy yourself as an individual, the moment I can't love myself, like take myself out, buy myself stuffs, then there is a problem somewhere. I can't share it with my spouse. What I can't give to myself, I can't give my spouse. So the first thing I would say is enjoy your life. Enjoy your life as an individual. Enjoy your life as a female. Enjoy your life as... Now when I say enjoy your life, I'm not saying you should go to the extreme, like do some illegal things that will not profit your own. No, I'm saying you should enrich yourself as an individual first. When you enrich yourself, you'll be able to share what you have. So if for instance you've been in marriage for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, ensure you grow. Ensure you grow. And I'm not talking about growing physically now. I'm not talking about growing physically. Grow in all areas. Grow in all areas. Do not think the way you thought 6 years ago. Ensure things improve in your home, in your life personally. So when things improve in your life, then you can now communicate it to your spouse. Your spouse cannot communicate it to you as an individual, because he is growing. But if both of you are just about yourselves, you are not even thinking about, you are just about, for instance, I'm just about my spouse. I'm just thinking about my spouse, how my spouse will grow, how this will happen, how that will happen. You understand? And I'm not thinking about how I would grow. I can't make it. I have to think about how I will grow, because if I'm thinking about how him alone will grow, it will grow and maybe leave me like this, and the triangle will now be like this. It won't be like this anymore. And like I keep saying, when it grows to a particular level, it starts seeing people on its own level. And then it will get home and be like, this woman, you know, she's no longer fascinating like she was before, because they are not on the same level. That is why it is very, very important for couples to build themselves, grow together. Do not say because you are the man, I'm the head of the family, I must grow, and leave your spouse behind. The moment you leave your spouse behind, you forget something. There is no longer focus on what is behind. But the moment you are growing together, you are able to focus on yourselves because you are on the same platform. So it is very, very important you grow. You up and grow. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so grateful. Okay, please do share this video as you're joining. You're free to ask questions. I can see you, but I'm going to definitely call each name, acknowledge you before I end this video. Thank you so much. Also, this video is live on YouTube right now, so if you're free to watch it on YouTube, I think the link is here. So you're free to watch on YouTube if you want to, or please share the link. Also share this link, is very, very important. Okay, so like I was saying, so the next thing now is hygiene. You know, there are some things that can't be spoken about. There are some things that cannot be exaggerated. I can't exaggerate hygiene. And when I mean hygiene, I mean you as an individual taking care of yourself, cleaning up the house, cleaning up your room, you understand, doing things. Fine, there are some people that might not have a lot of money to change their bed sheets, buy new sheets often. If you can't change your sheets often, try and clean them. Make the room look, enticing. Little things matters in a home. Little things. I don't know, for those view me from Nigeria, I don't know, but I want to believe it's in vogue in Nigeria. Candle. Buy scented candles that can, when you spray, what's it called now, a fragrance in your room, within 30 minutes it's gone off, right? It doesn't smell very nice after 30 minutes. The room becomes normal. But when you use candle for hours, like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, number one, it even helps you economically. I'm not talking about those normal candles. I'm talking about candle, like scented candles. You are making the room look spicy. Like when your spouse comes in, it's like, man, this babe is on to our game again. You understand? So you buy scented candles. And for men watching me, I'm not just talking about the woman. Even you as a man, you need to keep up your game. You need to spice up things. I like the way some men actually arrange themselves these days on Slack, like they are always there. I like it. So it's very important you get scented candles. Scented candles are not expensive. They are very, very cheap. You understand? They are affordable. Let me not use the word cheap. They are actually affordable. So you get scented candles, and when you own a scented candle for 1 hour, 2 hours, the smell takes you even 3 hours after switching it off. And the room, becomes so romantic, and the man is like, understand what I'm saying? So ensure you do this. It's part of hygiene. Part of hygiene, you use nice fragrance in your rooms, in your house, apartment. Do not just keep your room clean and leave the living room, scattered. Even for us that have kids, at times I could arrange my house, and in 30 minutes, it's as if I didn't touch it that day. You understand? And my husband will be like, hey, we keep talking. Forgetting is his kids, and he keeps saying something. Even if it's the children that are actually scattering the room, tell them to. Thing is, a man or a woman is actually pleased with what they see. Like we women, whenever we see something, we are like, wow, we are marveled with what we see. So ensure you keep your surrounding. So I'm not just talking about your living room or your bedroom. Ensure you keep your surrounding clean at all times. Ensure you use nice fragrance, even for yourself as an individual. I sell perfumes. For those that are not aware, I sell perfumes, so you can actually contact me for perfumes, any type of perfume, affordable, classic, expensive, you know, any type, luxurious. So ensure you use perfumes. I'm not saying you shouldn't bathe and you continue using perfume. You will have body odor. Ensure you clean what is needed for, you know, what is needed. There are some people that don't shave their armpits like her head. They don't shave their armpits because their spouse likes it. Even if you're not shaving down there, ensure it smells well, it smells nice. You know, when you want to make love and your spouse inhales you, you know, it's very, very important to inhale something reasonable. You shouldn't inhale something that will just make him sleep off. There are some men that will just hug their wife like this, and before you know it, they've slept off. So ensure you smell good. It's very, very important. You smell good at all times. So ensure you spice up the time in the bed. Ensure you spice up the time in the bed. Yeah. It's funny how some couples refuse to discuss this. I like the fact we even have so many sexologists, so many counselors, therapies out there today. But the thing is, even if we have millions of them, they are not still okay for the whole world. That's the truth. Because those that would want to hear would hear. Those that won't hear won't hear. You understand? Even when they are hearing, they won't hear. You understand? But for those hearing me tonight, ensure you spice up. If you're married, ensure you spice up your bed. And when I mean your bed, I mean the activities that actually take place on the bed. I've spoken about the bed sheet before. Now I'm talking about the activities that takes place on the bed. You understand? Do not just continue with the one position thing like the missionary style. Do not just continue with it. At times it could be boring. Seriously. I keep saying something. There are times, I remember when I got married without having experience, but now at least I can teach somebody. You understand? 8 years after, why not? Why can't I teach? You understand? So it's not a matter of, though, like someone was saying, it's very important you learn from those that know, blah blah blah. But even you yourself, you could be very, very adventurous. Do not just remain in marriage and you're not being adventurous. Anyhow it comes. If it comes like this, you will do like put this thing in mind. Like, take it like a job. Take it like something serious. Some people will tell you sex is not serious. It's just is it not just for us to actually what is it called, come together, do it and go? Is it not just for procreation? It's not just for procreation. It's supposed to be, you know, pleasured. Like, it's a pleasure between a man and a woman. And I keep telling you, when you're married and you make love, you are giving God the glory. So it's not just about you when you make love. So for instance, if you're giving missionary continuously and one of the party is not happy about it, do you think such marriage would work? It's funny, people don't even talk about this amongst themselves. You can't even, you are so shy to discuss your marriage, your sex life with your spouse. You hear some people telling their friend, do you know it's only, what's it called, missionary we do? Do you know, okay, let's even leave out the missionary. Do you know it's only cowgirl we do or cowboy we do? It's just one style. If you know you're not satisfied, that person you're actually telling can never do anything. She can't talk to your spouse. If you don't talk to your spouse, I'm not enjoying it. For goodness sake, that woman will not come and tell the man now. It is very, very important, like very essential, you discuss sex on bed. It is very important. You're not enjoying it. Tell him, man, babe, whatever it is you call him, my love, whatever it is you call him, I'm not enjoying it. Oh, you didn't touch me properly. You didn't touch me at the right spot. At this time, after maybe 3 months, 1 month, okay, let's say 3 months in marriage, you should be able to know your spot. For those that have never had experience before marriage, you should be able to know your G spot. You understand? In marriage, that are very, very essential, that enrich your home in marriage. Discuss. I started intentionally with communication because I know that is one problem we have in homes. Please, as you are joining me, kindly share this video, I beg of you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I can see you all. Please kindly share this video. It's very, very important. And like I said earlier on, it's on YouTube. For those maybe after this you want to watch, you can go on YouTube on Relationship Talk with Adelaide. You will definitely see this video. Also try, please subscribe to that channel. Please, we'll be doing this continuously by His grace. I'll be trying to put the videos on YouTube as consistent as. Thank you so much. So like I was saying, we have affirming each other. This is another key. It's very, very important. Every woman, women, even men loves it. Men at times, they feel so strong. Not all are very, very strong. They like people carrying them, caressing them. So it's very, very important you affirm each other in marriage. Focus on the positive side of your spouse. That's very, very important. Focus on the positive side of your spouse. Do not just say, you are always doing, you are not you supporting me. Sit down and think. What of the things he is doing? If possible, write out the list. Like tonight, if you're having any issue at home, just go home, write out the list of all the good things. Write out the list of all the good things he has been doing. Of all the good things he has been doing in the past. And, write out the things that you feel is weak. You understand? Write out the good part and the bad part. You understand what I'm saying? Write out the good part and the bad part and compare them. Compare and contrast. Which is actually higher. So whatever, ensure you affirm your spouse. Ensure you affirm your spouse at all times. Ensure you affirm your spouse at all times. It's very, very important. It's very, very important you affirm your spouse at all times. Okay. No, turn this thing. So it's very, very important you affirm your spouse at all times. It makes them more comfortable with you. It makes them reliable. It makes them even trust. See, when you affirm them, it's enrich their ego. It's enrich their ego. For instance, now you'll be like, man, you are so strong. There are words you like I keep saying, we all have different love languages. Your spouse love language. It's quite different from my spouse love language. So it's very, very important that love language. You speak the love language at all times to affirm him. Even the words of I love you. He has done something. Thank you. There are some funny spouse, funny women or men that their spouse will get them something and they don't say thank you. Like they don't even value what he or she has gotten them because they feel it's just something normal. Especially when the spouse is somebody that buys them something continuously. So they get used to it and they'll be like, thank you. And don't forget, like I said, your words of communication. You have 3 components. If you were not here earlier, I was talking about 3 components of communication. The word, the tonality, and your body language, your facial expression when talking. So if, for instance, you want to say thank you and you're like, thank you, the man would know you actually appreciate it. But when you are like, thank you, so it's, you say thank you, like, so it's going to look as if I didn't thank him more. Because tomorrow we say, I didn't thank him, so thank you. It's very, very wrong. And no man would definitely appreciate that. No man would appreciate their spouse not being appreciative. Even our maker, God, will never appreciate when you're not appreciative. So it's very, very important you affirm your spouse. You say the words, I love you. Every woman loves that. I love you. I love it when my man does not say it every time. Let me say it so that I can hear. He doesn't say it every time. But me, I won't keep quiet. I will tell him, man, you've not said it. So So it's very, very important. It's part of communication. You need to communicate what you love to your spouse. You understand? I keep telling him, you've not said this thing, you understand, so that we can both flow. Voila. So another thing is work out. Work out. Nobody wants to marry somebody that is, for instance, you get married and you are a size 8. In 3 years, you become a size 14 because maybe you've given birth to 2 kids, you understand? And you're like, I've given birth, it's my signature, Some women are even proud with it. They'll be priding with it. Like, I've given birth, everyone understands that. I don't know why you don't understand it. Even if it's not because of your spouse, if you're not going to slim down for your spouse, like I keep telling my husband, I respect him a lot. I would slim down. Number one reason why I would slim down is because I know it's very, very essential for myself. And that is why I keep saying you first. So it is essential for yourself. So it's very, very important you slim down when you have to slim down. So now, to make this very, very interesting and in enriching your marriage, don't forget the topic of today, enriching your marriage. To make it very interesting, if possible, go to the gym together. Gym together. Let's bounce there together. Let's do the sports together. Let's jog together. It enriches your home. It makes your home healthy that way. You understand? So it's very, very important. Most of these things are done. Like I said earlier, you're free to add to what I'm saying. You're free to subtract from what I'm saying. You do it according to how it pleases you. Because we are all different. Don't forget that. We are all different. So we do things differently. So another one is make jokes. Crack jokes. Crack joke. Don't be too serious. Some people have, official police. Crack jokes when necessary. Gists. You understand? Play games. There are some funny games couples need to play. For instance, I saw one and it's very, very funny. Like, maybe you ask your husband something, like when you are having games, and if he does it, if you misses it as a woman, it will touch your breast. You understand? If he misses it, you will touch his penis. You understand? So things like that makes your home interesting. Tomorrow you would want to play that game. If not for anything, just that communication, the friendship, the relationship level while playing the game. He might be sleeping or maybe he's at work. He remembers that game and he'll be like, no. When I get home, I want to play with my wife's breast. I want to play with her nipples. Oh, because of that, I'm going to play this game. Even at times, they might even intentionally miss what they know. Like when playing the game, they might intentionally fail just for you to touch their penis. So these are things that could actually enrich your home. Do not shy out from it. When you are talking about your home, like I take my marriage seriously. I believe you take your marriage seriously. So whatever you see, please do it. Another one is dress to impress. Hey, dress to impress. These days, men are, they're actually beating it. They are dressing to impress. And when I talk about dress to impress, I'm not talking about dress to impress people. I'm talking about dress to impress your spouse. It's funny how we dress like when we are actually going out. Okay, now let me be sincere regarding this confinement. Like we've been at home for how many months here? I think 3 months. For 3 months, and it is well. When we are at home, of course you'll be relaxed. I can't be at home and start putting on makeup for what now? There are some people that actually do it. Even when they are home, they still do the makeup and all of that because they're used to makeup. But the major thing is looking good. My husband actually loves me looking natural. So you look good for your spouse. So when I say dress to impress, do not be at home and tie wrapper. I'm so surprised some people are still tying wrapper this day. Like this generation. Why can't you just get yourself, shorts and top, armlet top when you're at home, even if you don't want to, like me, once I'm home, I try to be free as possible. I could wear anything at home. You understand? And there is no man that doesn't like that. It makes your spouse, arouse, like it makes him move when he sees you. So do not just get dressed when you're going outside. When you're going outside, you're looking so sweet, man. When people see you, they'll be like, this man is taking care of this woman. Well done, sir. And the man will just be like, it's someone out there that is actually appreciating your looks. Why? Because they can see you. But when you are at home, you're always on wrapper. Except if on wrapper, maybe for easy access. Except that. But if it's not that way, that's why I say you should keep communicating, because there are times you don't even know what your spouse like. Then there is a problem. Ask your husband. Ask him, is your husband, is your friend. Okay, let me use the word friend, because most of the time we just think, is your friend. Look at him as a friend. Ask him what you want. The man too should be able to ask his wife, what do you want? So it is very, very important. I'm actually looking at the time because I don't want to spend beyond my 1 hour. Thank you again so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I actually tried cutting out so many things because of time. I've spent an hour. Thank you so much. I can see you all. I'm going to acknowledge. So I don't know if you have any question, you're free to put it down there. You're free to put it on the comment section. I'm going to just scroll quickly if we have any question. But like I was saying, do not forget, dress to impress your spouse. Make your hair. If you are a woman, please make your hair to impress your spouse. There's a problem at times, like I keep preaching on, what's it called now? On you. But the fact it's about you doesn't mean you should just do anything that won't be okay with your spouse. For instance, okay, I actually like now I don't mind cutting my hair. I like at times changing my look. But the fact I want to cut my hair, I shouldn't just do it, especially when it comes to cutting your hair. Because don't forget, the hair does not grow the next day. It takes time to grow. So when you want to cut your hair, make it an agreement. It's very important. It just came to my mind because I remember someone that told her spouse she actually wanted to cut her hair, and the man was like, okay. The man said, okay, you should have understood that okay was not really okay. You understand? And she went ahead to cut the hair, and things were just like that. Months after or a year after was when he actually voiced out. So don't forget what I was talking about, peacekeeper and peacemaker. So that person is actually a peacekeeper because he didn't voice out his feelings. He swept it under the carpet, like I said from the beginning. He swept it under the carpet till a year after. He was like, who told you I actually love the fact you cut your hair? After a year. So it's very important when you want to change your look. When you want to change the way you look, it's essential you actually communicate with your spouse. Do you think I should change it? Do you think I should cut my hair? Discuss it. Communication is a key. It's very, very necessary. It's a necessity in marriage. So at all times, don't think you are communicating too much. Oh, I've been saying this thing. Because we change. I change. We all change. So we all change. So it is very, very important you actually communicate every day. Don't forget, when we meet somebody out there, the person impacts us. Like I'm talking to you, whether you like it or not, I impact you in one way or the other, right? So as I'm impacting you, you add to your knowledge, and you kind of use that in your home. If you don't see a change in you, it might be a positive change. I want to believe it will be a positive change. Anyway, don't let me use the other one. So if it's a positive change, it would be happy. And indirectly, you've communicated to him. It is very, very important at all times. Don't say you are communicating too much. I'm beginning to talk too much. Talk. Do not nag. Talk. It's very, very acceptable. Please, if you have any question, please kindly write down. Let me see. I'm going to quickly read out. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Atinuke Aide. Thank you so much for joining. Sheung Fatimata, thank you so much. I see you all. Thank you so much for joining. It's an hour already. Madam Dorcas, thank you so much, ma. I okay, Sister Mercy, thank you so much. I'm actually looking for questions. If you have any question, you can write down. Okay, so many people said I am a peacemaker. Thank you, that's good. You are a peacemaker. That's good. Oluwatosin, peacemaker, okay. And keep watching. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to answer any other question because I have to go off now. I have another program for 11. Okay, it's past 11 already. I have another program. Thank you so much for joining, Olufunsho. Thank you so much for joining. So for those just joining us on Relationship Talk with Abilites, we do this weekly, every Friday by His grace. But tomorrow I have something different. I do it on Friday normally, but I'll be adding Saturday for tomorrow because I'm going to be doing my family affairs. I told you weeks before, I think since April, I told you we'll be having family affairs, not every weekend, but some weekends. So for tomorrow, we'll be having family affairs at 8 p.m. Nigerian time. That's what's it called now? West African time. And if you reside in Europe or in France, please join me. I'll be streaming on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Please join me. Here on Facebook, it's my personal page. That's Abigail Ajayi. On Instagram, it's going to be Relationship Talk with Abilites. On YouTube, Relationship Talk with Abilites. Please join in. Also, if you have any question, you're free to send it to my inbox. If you have questions, if you have topics you want me to talk about, you're free to send at any time to my Facebook Messenger, to Instagram. Like I said, in Relationship Talk with Abilites, you're free to DM me at any time. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, thank you. Good. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. Let me just run away because of time. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Have a blessed weekend. I'm still looking if you have any question. Okay. Someone says, can you please differentiate between a nag and talking, like a nag and a talking too much? And I remember I said, yes, talk too much. There are some talk that could be productive. And when I started this video, I was talking about a woman. I said women has 25,000 words per day. Like, we talk naturally. It's a gift from God. And that is why a woman can kill with her tongue. We all can kill. Even men can kill with their tongue. But women, when we start, we can kill. So a talkative, women naturally are talkative. Like, they are blessed with words. But a nag, even men, nags. Men, they nag. So it's not just a woman, women, because some men do it. Nagging is when you keep, repeating on something consistently. My husband drops a shoe here, and I'm like, you've dropped this shoe. I've told you before not to drop the shoe. Number one, like I discussed about communication, you have three components: the word, the tonality, and your expression. The facial expression and your body expression. So if I am talking, I could talk, I am passing words. But when I'm nagging, I am using everything. My aggression, my body language, my facial language is not positive anymore. It's going to be negative, because I'm not going to be nagging and I'll just be like, why did you drop your shoe now? No, I won't do that. I would do it with action, like with my body language and everything. So it is very important. It's very important. Okay, the question again is the difference between nagging. So nagging is about you being, vicious, like you are just all over. You keep repeating it consistently. Even in the Bible says that consistent, like a prayer you say, the fact you say this, how is it even kept? The fact you pray continuously does not mean God is going to answer like that. And when it was stated, it's not like the fact you are praying is not hearing. But the thing is, when we pray once, when we say, Father, please give me good health, he has heard you. But when we keep repeating that thing, Holy Ghost, give me good health. Tomorrow, give me good health. It's not because you are saying it continuously is going to answer that prayer. So when you nag, it's like you're saying something, like you're requesting or demanding or saying or complaining about something continuously, and I'm so sorry, most women do it. Men do it, but mostly women do it. They nag. For instance, your husband is doing something you don't like. Instead of, you've communicated. We don't just nag. We actually communicate first. We discuss it. But the moment the man is not doing it, we start nagging. We start talking over and over and over and over again. So it's very, very important. It's very, very important you don't nag. So I don't know if I've answered your question, Isheoluwa. I don't know if I've answered. To an end of this program, and like I said earlier on, it's every Friday by God's grace. Normally first Fridays we don't do this, but next week Friday we'll be doing it. We'll be doing family affairs. Family affairs is, like I said, for those that are just joining, it's what's it called, bringing in couples to actually share their journey with us. You understand? They share their journey with us. So if we don't do it on Friday because of a church program, we could do it on Saturday. I would definitely communicate this with you. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Do have a blessed weekend ahead. Again, if you're just joining or if you watch this video after the live section, please share this video. We actually spoke on marriage enrichment, how to actually enrich your home, having a healthy relationship in marriage. That's the discussion for today. Do have a blessed weekend ahead. God bless you. Bye.